Hello and welcome back. My name is Risha Jatyani and I'm back with another tutorial on Advanced Excel, and here I will be covering charts. Charts or graphs in Excel can say more than a sheet full of numbers. Excel has several different types of charts, allowing you to choose the one that best fits your data. In order to use charts effectively, you will need to understand how different charts are used, and there are three main different types of charts in Excel: the column or the bar chart, line chart, and the pie chart. Like I mentioned, a chart is a visual representation of numeric values. We will see that in our example here. I have the sales data available for different products and for different years. Now I need to compare the data for different products. How much revenue have I generated in different years? In order to do that, I can either use the column or the bar chart. There are different types of column or the bar chart, or rather three types under the column or the bar chart as well. If I want to add a chart, I will stay inside the database, go onto the Insert tab, and from the Charts group, I'll select the column chart. In the column chart, there are, like I said, three different types. One is the clustered column, second is the stack column, and the third is the 100% stack column chart. The first, which is the cluster column, this will be used to show the data or the category in different bars, and the number will decide whether the bar will be smaller or the bigger to show the exact differences, or what are the changes that is required, or what is the comparison that is there between the two databases. Another one chart that we look at there is that if I go on to insert and click on the column chart, you will see there another one, which is the stack column chart. The stack column chart will give you the total amount of sale for that particular product and then divide them into different parts for that year. So for 13, it will be shown in the small bucket, then another bucket, and the 2015 in third bucket, 16 in fourth bucket, and the 17 in fifth bucket. So different buckets, it will show me the data in the same bar. That was the another type. But you will see that it is also showing you the size of the bar is changing as per the total amount that the data is giving. The third type of chart in this list for the column chart is your 100% stack chart. Now 100% stack chart works in a very different manner, or it is similar to the stack column chart, but 100% stack chart is the chart where it will give you, of course, it will pick up the total of the particular category and then split it into different numbers in that bar. However, in this case, this it will take it as 100%. It will be taken as a percentage. So whenever you have a data which is split it into different percentage, say from 100%, 20% is particular data, 30% is the different data. That time we will be using the stacked column, 100% stacked column chart. Here, because we have numbers, we can use one of these two charts, which is the clustered column and the stack column. I will be using the clustered column chart. I need to stay inside the database to create the chart. So yes, so once I see that, you will see that it is showing me the kind of chart that I'm looking for, or the different bars it is giving me, the different categories, and now I can see which year does each bar belong to, and I'll be able to easily identify where I have done the highest sell and the lowest sell. Now, even if this chart looks good, there are a lot of incomplete information in here. Is the first thing is the chart title, which I will need to add. So I will add the chart title. Without chart title, it is very difficult to identify what does this chart talk about. Sales revenue, or just the revenue data, or whatever, the sales data for 2013 to 2017. This is the sales data, that is the information that it is giving you. Okay. Now, if I want to make this look even better, I can use the other type of charts here, other type of styles from this list, which you can see here on the top under the design tab. You can pick up the chart styles from whichever style that appeals to you. You can pick up from there, and that style will be added to your chart. Now, you can see that there are these bars which are very closer to these numbers which are given, but it is very difficult to identify what is the exact number does that bar signify. In order to identify that, I can keep my cursor on that to see what is that number, which is 49,225. However, I'll have to keep my cursor on each of the bars to identify that number. Another way to do that is adding a data label, which will add the labels of the numbers. And so I don't have to go onto each bar to see that. How do I add those data label? Two ways to do that. One is selecting your chart and go onto the design tab from the ribbon and click on add chart element. All the chart elements will be available here from which I can add the data label. Different data labels, you can add the data labels in the center of the bar or inside end or inside base or outside end, wherever you think is looking better. Or you can also add the call outs for that data label. Another way to do that is using this plus sign, which is only available in 2010 or higher version of Excel. Click on this plus sign and all your chart elements will be available in the drop down menu. If I click on this, you'll see all these chart optional elements are available. I click on the data labels and it automatically adds the data label at the outside end and you can see the numbers. Now I want to increase the size so that the data labels are more properly visible. Now, because I have added a data label, this vertical axis is of no use to me. So I can remove this by going onto the chart elements and remove the primary vertical axis. Also, the grid lines doesn't look that appealing to me. If I want to remove the grid lines, I can go onto the chart elements and remove the tick from the grid lines and the grid lines are gone. This looks more clean and neat as compared to what we had previously. Also, the legends are now showing on top. If you want to change the legend where it is placed, you can always click on the legends and select where you want the legends to be placed. I always prefer to put it on the top, so I'll keep it as top. Now, once your chart is ready, I can also move this chart from one sheet to another sheet by cutting and pasting that, just like we use the Control X and Control V to paste it. I'll go onto the another sheet and paste my chart. Here, I will be creating my database or the dashboard where all my charts will be placed. So I do not need to look at the sheet where all my charts are. I can only look at this sheet where only my this dashboard or my charts is available and not look at all the other tables. Going back to the another one, if I'm looking at the column chart, this is how you create a column chart. Now, like I mentioned, the column chart and bar chart are very similar. Using the column chart gives you the great way to compare the data. Bar chart is also the same way you will be using to create a comparison between the data. And the only difference between the column chart and the bar chart is that the column chart displays vertical columns while the bar chart displays horizontal bars. Now, where will we use the bar chart in that case and why will we use the bar chart? If you have a lengthy category label, a bar chart may be a good choice. Like in our case, in the second example, where I have the survey result given for a store, I have the sentences given as the category label. Now, it will be very difficult if I want to put it in the column chart to read my sentences down here. You will see that it is all cut, so it is very difficult to read them. I would rather put it in the bar chart by selecting the bar chart from this list and using the bar chart. Now, like I said, we have different types of column charts. Similarly, we have different types of bar chart. Here you can see that the bar is not very appealing. It is very small because there are so many things that you have to put it on the bar chart. Also, you would see that there are percentages given on the bar chart. Like I mentioned while showing you the column chart, there is a third type of column chart or the bar chart, which is 100% stacked bar, which can be used in this case because it is talking about your percentage. Once I select that, you will see that your stacked 100% stacked chart is selected now. And you can do the same things that we did it for the column chart and select your style from the list, add the chart title. Now this is about the survey result. So I'm going to enter survey result and remove the grid lines from the list. Add the legends on the top. Like I said, I like to put it on the top because if it is a bigger data also, I will be able to see it. You will see that your sentences are now easily visible on the left hand side, and you can read the whole sentences to look at the data. Also, now I can add the data labels on this, and your data labels are easily visible. However, you will see that your bars are very thin, and so your data labels are not that clearly visible. If I want to increase the size of the data labels, I will have to reduce the gap uh, between those bars. So I'll select any bar and right click and select format data series and reduce the gap between the two bars. Now you will see that as I reduce the gap, your bars are becoming thicker and it looks your data labels are looking much better now looking at this. Again, removing my other parts that I did for the previous one, cutting this data or this chart and putting it in my dashboard sheet. Here I have the dashboard sheet where I have added the data. This was about how you can use the column chart and the bar chart to compare your different types of data. Now moving on to the third part of the charts, which is called as your pie chart. The pie chart uses pie slices to show relative size of data. Pie charts are used to display a contribution of each value to a total. And pie chart can only be used with one set of data. Like for example, I have this product names against which I have created the revenue or I generated the revenue. Now, this is the total revenue, of course, which is the total is about 173,874. And out of this, I want to identify which particular product is generating how much revenue. So in order to do that, I will be selecting a pie chart. Going on to the pie chart level from here, I can select the pie chart that I am looking to add. On the, if you have a 2010 or higher version, you will also have something called as a recommended chart. The recommended chart is very similar to what we had seen in the recommended pivot tables. The recommended chart gives you the type of chart that will suit your data. So if I click on recommended chart, I will see that the pie chart is the second chart that I can pick from. And similar to the other charts, you can do the rest of the things like adding styles, adding the data labels and all those things on this list. So I'll use the same style that I have used for them. Add the data labels. Data labels will only add numbers in this, but there is a more benefit with using the pie chart is that you can also add the legends inside your pie chart. How you can do that is going on to the data label drop down menu, click on more options, and from the more options, select the category name, which will get added onto your data labels. And you can remove the legends from your list. So now you can see your pie chart a little bigger because your legends are now removed and you have more space to add your pie chart and move it a little down so that it looks a little better and everything is showing inside your pie chart itself. So this is how you can use your data labels to add more data into your or more information into your chart. Cutting this data and pasting it into your dashboard. This is how you use your pie chart to add your data accordingly. Now, the last chart that we were talking about is your line chart, which is again the most useful chart that you look at. Line chart are used to display trends over a time. Like I want to show the trends from or the sales data for a particular product. So let me just take the product name and the revenue. And let's say this is my month. If I want to identify from each one what is the trend of the revenue that I have earned, I can use this is the database that I have, and I can use the line chart to identify the trend of the data. In order to use the line chart, again, either I can use the recommended charts or use from this list which is given, or also I can go onto the all charts to get all the charts that is available with me. Use the line chart, click on OK. Now you will see that it is showing me the trend of the revenue that is earned in each month. Again, similar to what we had done in the past, we can add the data labels onto this as well. Or before adding the data label, I will first select the style. Now I'll use the data labels. I can remove the axis from the left hand side so that it is giving me the clear information. Cut this data, paste it onto my dashboard and align it properly. Of course, I'm not aligned it in proper way. I can align it in such a way so that it looks really nice to create a dashboard. So when we are doing the dashboard training or when we are doing the tutorial for dashboard, you will see how you can create a also summarize the data on the dashboard by using all these charts. So not necessary that always you need to know the highest or the advanced charts. Even with the basic charts, you can create your dashboards and very efficiently and very effective charts. Sorry, very effective dashboard, and it will look very nice. Hope you found this useful and insightful. Thank you for watching.
To know more, follow and subscribe to upGrad.